Okay, so today I am going to give you the real actual cost of an iPhone. And I'm not talking about the actual cost. I'm talking about how much it costs you in the future. Now, I'm not against having an iPhone. I have my own. I have an iPhone 8 Plus. Now, yeah, you can laugh at that because, of course, we know that the iPhone 13 is going to be being released probably next month. So, what is the true cost of an iPhone? Well, let's get down. Let's check this out. So in Canada, now of course if you're in the States you can use the same math, it just may be a little bit less because our currency is garbage, but basically when I worked for Apple, the iPhone Pro Max was the most popular phone. The biggest size was always the most popular. And we can see that it starts at about $1,550. Now, when it comes to color, nobody really cared, but they usually went for the newest color or a red or a gold. Those were kind of the most popular. And when it comes to the storage, yes, a lot of people will buy the cheaper phone, the one that has the least amount of memory. However, now Apple has kind of learned that, and they've learned that, hey, by offering a phone with double the storage for an extra $100, there's going to be more people buying that. So for the extra $130-ish, $140-ish dollars, people are going to go up because they're already spending that. What's an extra 10%? So we're going to base our numbers off of that. So $1,690 is the cost. And we're going to say that we are the age of 21. Now, at the age of 21, we all want to go out and buy the newest and best phone. We just probably finally got away from our parents buying our phones, and we are now buying our own phone. We want to have that best phone. And, of course, it's going to cost us, plus tax, however, $1,690. But let's just say there's no tax. Let's say you're either a native in Canada or you are just in another country and your phones are less priced and then taxed up to $1,690. Whatever it may be, let's just say the average cost is $1,690. And from there, what is the actual cost? So, of course, by the time you turn 60... By the time you turn 60 years old, that $1,600 phone actually cost you $36,000. Yes, you can say, holy crap, you can turn off your video right now because you're probably saying, oh, this guy is just against Apple, this guy is just against technology, and he just hates everything when it costs money. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not. I have an iPhone. I have an 8 Plus. I have a $3,000 MacBook sitting in front of me that I'm recording this video with. And I also have an iPad that's currently charging an Apple Pencil that I'm going to be using for a video later on. And from there, why am I making this video? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that you could actually save some money. Let me explain this to you. This is a pro tip. Because guess what? In 2 years, you're going to want to have another new phone. Believe me, I'm there. I'm there all the time. You see a new phone come out? I need to get it. And guess what? Let's just round off because I'm too lazy typing a whole bunch of numbers. Let's say that's going to cost you $1,700 2 years from now. Now, let's say that $1,700, of course, Apple does raise their prices by about 5 to 10% every 2 years, roughly. Could be more, could be less. And we start really seeing this pattern on how much that phone is actually costing you. Now, of course, there's inflation to involve with, but I'm not looking at that. I'm just going by with today's numbers. And today's numbers show me that by the time that we are 60, I'm just going to copy a whole whack load of these 1700s. I'm going to be moving them down like that. And, of course, by the time that we turn 60, we have actually the true cost, not the cost of how much the phones actually were. I'm talking about the future cost. Means that you spent about $250,000 of potential investment income on those phones, which would then bring you, if you had that money, by the time you were 60 invested, let's say you were making an average of 5% on the dividend of $246,000, you would actually have had a $12,000 a year income from those phones. Now, this is, of course, assuming an average 8% return, which is the average for the stock market. This is a pretty darn good income that you've missed out on because of iPhones. Now, my question to you is, do you need the newest and best phone out there? Because guess what? These phones still record with fantastic video and fantastic audio. They are still a phone. They still do phony things. And guess what? We could go with 64 gigs. Do you need the storage? Do you not? If you do need the storage, why not spend the extra $70 more for the 128 gig? And let's just say that now we're going to be saving about $1,000 every 2 years. How much money can we save from this? Let's see. How much money, if we could go with the cheapest phone, how much money can we save if we go with the cheapest phone? So we can actually see here that by going with the cheapest phone, by saving $1,000 each and every 2 years, we now have saved and made $145,000 if we invested that $1,000 every 2 years at an 8% average return. In the time that we are 60 years old, we would then have an average income potentially, if we were to get paid 5% of that $145,000 in a dividend, we would then be making $7,000 a year on average. Of course, if you invested in dividend income earlier on, then you'd be making more. But let's say you made 5% on that $145,000, you would be making about $7,200 a year by getting the cheaper phone. Now keep in mind that this is also not including the data plan that a lot of people never actually reach their max amount. For example, there was a lot of people who I used to ring through who had 15 and 20 gig data plans who would never even go past 5 gigs. And they're spending $30-40 a month more just to have that ridiculous plan that they will probably only use 1 month every single year. So what I'm trying to say is really look at your options. It's nice having that state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line, amazing phone. I'm not gonna lie, it is amazing. Another option you could do is to wait until that phone becomes an old phone the next year after, and now you can still save probably a hefty amount of money, and again, usually around that same price, around $1,000. So overall, do you need the newest and greatest phone? That's my question to you. For me, it's a tax write-off, but I still don't get the top-of-the-line phone. I got an 8 Plus when the 11s were out. So, yeah, and it was brand new. And it still works to this day as like a brand new phone. So, why? My question is why? Anyways, that's my video for today. I hope that this has helped you with your financial decisions. You can actually do this same chart for literally anything. It doesn't have to be phones. It could be a MacBook. Yes, I spent $3,000 on a MacBook myself, but I needed it for business. I wanted to edit video quick so I can get 4 or 5 videos done in a day. That makes more money for me. Meanwhile, for somebody who's maybe not using it for that, it's now costing them money because they probably will never use this machine to its fullest. Right now the fans are going like crazy. It's probably going to be overheating, and I've used it so much that half the keys are falling off. So I use it a lot. Anyways, make sure to really know what you're purchasing and how much it's actually going to cost you in 20, 30, 40 years. I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.